Here we are at Clothesline, the show where we string them up, put them to dry and wring them clean. On the Clothesline, we would like to mention that an alert viewer, Asmith, pointed out that we have the order of things wrong. It should be, in fact, here we are at Clothesline, where we wring them clean, string them up and put them to dry. Now we have it right. Thank you, Asmith. It was an unusually quiet week on air. Arnab was on leave or unwell or something, but he wasn't on air, and sound pollution, we are told, came down by a whopping 1 zillion decibels. Although Times Now did their best to ensure the 1.5 hour long news hour didn't miss Arnab, they got these two goateed youngsters to fill in for Arnab.
No, you're wrong there.
It's about women, it's not about...
It's not really about class, it's about women.
What are you saying?
It's about how can you equate a murder with sexual assault? But the fact is,
I'm sorry.
Can we just get some quorum back?
Times Now. You'll need more than two to compensate for Arnab's absence. It's like trying to get these two to fill in for him. So if you must have a replacement for Arnab, don't think less than him. Anything less than him, just run a blank screen. There is no substitute for Arnab. But come back soon, Arnab, we're missing you. As is Rahul Kanwal, because he took it upon himself to sound exactly like you in your absence.
Let's not be ambiguous because India has the right. No.
Rahul, you're sounding more and more like Arnab. And this young one here, Gaurav Sawant, is sounding like Arnab on steroids.
The Home Minister of India says, I spoke to Akhilesh Yadav, I warned him. The Cabinet Secretary warned the Chief Secretary of the State. Despite that there were riots, despite that 31 lives were lost. If this is not inefficiency of Akhilesh Yadav government, what else is?
But coming back to Rahul and this whole straight question, direct question trend.
Let me ask you a direct question. You must answer that question. You must hear my question and answer my question. That's my direct question.
As opposed to indirect questions, which are what? And a straight question, as opposed to what? A crooked or gay question. Also in the last fortnight, there was the Kashmir concert by Maestro Zubin Mehta, in which Barkha Dutt did We the People, without the people. Not to say that Rahul Bose, Salman Soz and Dr. Radhakumar aren't people. In fact, they are more than people. They are persons, or rather personalities.
I'm a rugby player and I have a foundation.
I'd like to point out that Rahul, we get it that you play rugby and run an NGO. But must you remind the viewer each time you appear on screen?
मेरी पसंद रग्बी
एक NGO है.
मैं रग्बी ट्रेनिंग कर रहा था.
I started the foundation in 2006.
What about rugby?
And Barkha on We the People. Where are the people? Janta Janardhan? Hell, you should have just put all your employees there and would have made a fine audience, since according to this tweet by Rahul Pandita of Open Magazine, who attended the function, many NDTV employees were at Srinagar, spreading the message of peace. Meanwhile, the Parliament actually sat through a few sessions to get some work done. And they need to, since 150 bills are pending in Parliament, as Arun Shari said, mainly to undo the damage done by previous bills. But first, the bad news. On 12th of July this year, the Supreme Court ruled that a person who is in jail or in police custody cannot contest elections. That was the bad news. The good news is that Parliament negated the Supreme Court's order in this session, banning jailbirds from contesting. Yes, that is the good news. Hey, whose side are you on? You can now vote for your local thug and get him to fiddle your electricity meter, threaten the school principal to get your kid into school, and even safely go ahead with illegal construction. He can even fix the traffic lights for you around your house so they never turn red, always green. You can always go. So we are grateful to this Parliament for passing such a people-friendly bill. We need the local thugs around to get things done. Meanwhile, if you are in jail, you're not allowed to vote, only contest elections. If you are convicted of a crime under Section 171E and 171F, which is bribery and coercing people to vote a certain way, you cannot vote for 6 years. Makes perfect sense, no? Can't vote, only contest. The other important bill that we are still wondering who will pay for is the food security bill. If a large number of people who are starving are going to be fed, who can object to that? And it's come a long way from the bizarre definitions it had earlier. Brinda Karat pointed out those absurdities in the earlier draft. If you are starving, you will get 2 free meals. And starving is defined by, in quotes, prolonged involuntary deprivation of food that threatens the very survival of the person, close quote. But who will decide when survival is threatened? Also, in the earlier bill, a destitute person, quotes, shall be entitled to at least one meal every day. A destitute person is defined as those who have no resources, means and support required for food and nutrition enabling their survival, to the extent that makes them vulnerable to live or die of starvation. Oh, so that is the difference between those starving and those destitute. We still don't know how they plan to tell them apart. So while the starving were entitled to 2 free meals, the destitute get only 1. But if you were destitute and starving, could you get 3 meals? Because from what we comprehend, all starving are destitute, but not all destitute are starving. Can any sane person find any difference between a person in starvation whose life is threatened by food deprivation and a destitute who is vulnerable to death by starvation? Meanwhile, the neither starving nor destitute Sonia Gandhi made a powerful speech in Parliament about the food security bill.
कुछ लोग सवाल उठाते हैं कि क्या हमारे पास इसके लिए साधन हैं। मैं उनसे कहना चाहती हूँ कि सवाल साधनों का नहीं, हमें इसके लिए साधन जुटने ही होंगे।
Hindi baby in your face. अब तो साधन जुटाना ही होगा. While her party walas were jutawing sadhans to pay for the FSB, Sonia Gandhi was in the USA for medical treatment, where she was served a notice by a US judge to appear for her alleged role in protecting those involved in the 1984 riots. Oi Amrikis, you think you will serve Madam Notice? Even in your Hollywood, the biggest, most powerful are from Italia.
My name is Rocky Balboa, the Italian stallion.
How you doing?
Don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again.
No one issues a notice to Sonia Ji, especially when she has to serve almost 700 million people food. So the food security bill must be paid for, since Sonia has declared it. Now, where will this 1,25,000 crore come from? We asked our resident genius doctor, where would Sonia find the money?
Thank you, Madhu. Now, as you may know, ever since Sonia Madam said we'll need to somehow get the money for FSB, I've been working day and night for a possible solution to this problem.
Oh, okay. Tell me, doctor, where can Sonia Ji get hold of 1,25,000 crore quickly?
First of all, Madhu, you need to know that it's not 1,25,000 crores anymore. The rupee-dollar exchange rate has made it to 1,54,000 crores.
Mamma mia, what nimupani?
Yes, Madhu. The additional 30,000 crore means that we can no longer have small scams to fund the FSB. We need large to very large scams. But don't worry, it is possible, as my scheme will show.
More scams? How?
Please see this. Now, this map out here is a treasure map. One only has to use it to find unlimited riches that will fund the FSB. Now look very closely. Use the Rajapat.
As in 2G, Raja?
Yes. And then the Quatrogi Road. And then come to this roundabout. And then take the Swargiya Vinchadha Marg, the Bofors Marg, then the Hasal Ali Khar Road, and reach CSD Canteen.
CSD?
Chitra Subramaniam Duella.
She has a road named after her?
Unfortunately, no. Only a canteen as yet. For the road to be named after, you have to have been a scammer, not the scammee.
Oh.
Precisely. Chitraji investigated and found out the bank account number of Q. Oof, not that. After Q's death, all his inheritance can easily be used to fund the FSB. That's solution number 1.
Nice, nice. I love it. Also, maybe we can auction road names, pay for a road to be named after you. Great idea.
Indeed. My second solution, Madhu. Now please see here. At the Finmeccanica Marg and Bofors Marg intersection is the Parliament House.
Mamma mia, what nimupani?
Indeed, Madhu. Now, do you know why the nuclear deal was passed?
Yes, of course. To scare Pakistan, to please America, and to do ta-na-na-na-na to China.
Yes, all that. But also because we're going to need a lot of power in the coming years. And India is soon going to commission thorium reactors instead of plutonium or uranium to save the cost. Now, India, as you know, has the world's largest supply of thorium.
What em?
Tho, as opposed to U or plu.
U or plu?
Em.
Ah?
Yes.
Okay, makes sense. Tho and not U or plu.
Yes, Madhu. And just like the coal scam, the mining of thorium will give rise to a massive scam running into lakhs of crores, a small part of which can easily be used for supporting the FSB.
Brilliant, brilliant, Anand.
Thank you, Madhu. Now, my third solution is the following. Please see. Now, near the Koda Avenue and the Khurshid Trust Lane.
Khurshid Trust Lane, I like that one.
Yes, just off the Kalmadi Marg is where the leader of the opposition, Ms. Sushma Swaraj, stays.
So,
every year, thousands of tons of human hair are sheared off the heads of Tirupati pilgrims. It is then exported to all parts of the world, and we make billions of dollars through this. All the UPA needs to do is to take away just 25% of the hair quantity every month and export the hair through their own back channels. They will make billions.
that is ingenious. But what has Sushma Swaraj got to do with all this?
Simple. Sushma ji knows the temple trustees really well. If somehow Sonia ji can convince Sushma ji to shave her head and be a mascot for this scheme, I am sure the trustees will agree. Remember that Sushma ji had already promised to shave her head in 2004. I am positive she would be delighted to accept this offer from Sonia ji.
Excellent idea. And even the Nokshuls, commies, cholawalas can contribute by shaving their beards and adding to the hair bank.
Yes, Madhu, excellent idea.
That's fantastic, Doctor. You have given Sonia Gandhi 3 great workable solutions to finance the food security bill. I hope you are suitably rewarded for this.
I'm hoping so.
Before you go, Doctor, what are you a doctor of?
Ghoda doctor?
Ghoda as in horses, horse trading? Oh, so you'll be in business next year.
Yes, Madhu, that was my secret 4th plan.
Thank you, Anand. Other than the food security bill, there was also Vanzara's letter bomb which made waves. Lal Dari was disillusioned with Safed Dari and held Kali Dari responsible for this. In case you were left out of this entire pachara, here's what happened in the code language a cop had earlier revealed. Lal Dari, who's been in prison for 7 years fighting a case for alleged extrajudicial killings, or murder as it is also called, claimed he acted as part of state policy, as laid down by Safed Dari and Kali Dari. He says Safed Dari is being misled by Kali Dari. Kali Dari, who was also an accused in the case, is out on bail, living the good life, since he had a no-Dari top-shot lawyer appear for him. But the men in khaki for the same case are left to fend for themselves with somewhat lesser legal luminaries. All this sounds very beard, and the weirdest of all is that when all other channels went to town with this Vanzara letter bomb as the primetime story and debating point, Arnab, the salmon, swam the other way and decided the main issue for him was this.
Can Lalit Modi be singularly held responsible for the financial irregularities that he committed?
A report prepared by Jyoti Aditya Scindia and Arun Jaitley has put Lalit Modi in a tight spot. The IPL debate squad made a comeback, Boria Mazumdar and Suhail Seth in tow.
You see, you're all, and I say this as part of friendly banter, don't jump on me, you're all biased and prejudiced in your own ways.
Now back to Suhail, the single man in the city. With what he has to say about women, it's no wonder he's a fixture on these panels.
And also still single, humble suggestion.
Keep it humble and stay out of this.
And Suhail Seth is even more torn right now. No,
I'm not torn. Please don't make me out to be some, actress in Devdas. I'm not torn at all.
I can see the perfect sky is torn.
Then Boria can't seem to control himself.
In the dock, as it were, in the country.
Your entire argument is flawed. Your entire argument is flawed.
Arnab, can I please come in?
Because, one sec.
Because Lalit Modi says I was arm twisted to allow Andrew Flintoff to go to Chennai Super Kings. And he says, poor me, these people arm twisted me, I was a little...
So this debate is special for the following reason. Boria spent most of the debate either airing his armpit or saying, ma'am, I need to go, or is giving this man a run for his money. The Khada Haath Baba is a story at every Kumbh and Ardh Kumbh. What is common knowledge is that he has not put his hand down for decades. What is not known is how that happened. He was a panelist on Arnab's show and didn't get a chance to speak. So Boria, put that hand down or you will be Khada Haath Baba Part 2. And this is why, because he's the only one who seems to have read the 500-page report before coming on the panel.
It serves him right that Arun Jaitley and Jyotiraditya Scindia, two men of impeccable credibility, and I've read that 500-page report, have actually come up with objective, clear-cut findings that nails him once and for all.
But the poor chap wasn't given a chance to dazzle us with all his mugging of the report. I know how you feel, Boria. It's when you go to all night for an exam and then the teacher cancels the test. And to rub salt in the wound, the student who never does any studying is allowed to call the shots. Take it away, Sohail, who sings the Patawa song.
इस हमाम में काफी नंगे थे, सारे नहीं पर काफी नंगे थे.
What is this talk of Nangu Pangu and Phata Udara? Oh wait, it's Arnab's show. Then comes the best part of the show. Arnab gets a counterpoint from Modi in an SMS on his cell phone and he starts to read it out. Magical television.
When it was time for me to appear, they had no time for me as they had to finish the report. I was never even allowed to appear before the committee, and he says the tender was not approved, etc., etc., whatever. He's sending me a series of SMSs, so he's watching the news hour right now. I think we suggest we get him on the phone.
Now, Arnab, this is why you should be on Twitter. Lalit is known for being a man of the written word, going by the 100 tweets a minute, which he averages before and after a cricket match or panel discussion. You wouldn't need to waste money on SMSs.
I am getting Mr. Lalit Modi on the phone, and he's calling back right now, and I'll speak to him and ask him whether he wants to give his perspective. Hello? Yeah, can I put you on speakerphone, Mr. Lalit Modi? You are now live. 1 second.
Now remember this film, Karthik calling Karthik? No? Okay, it was a bomb, but something similar happened in Bengaluru. Bhaskar Rao is IG, Police Internal Security Division. Bhaskar Rao is also, the same Bhaskar Rao is also IG Training. So as the Inspector General of Police, Internal Security Division, Bhaskar Rao has to write to himself, the Inspector General of Police, Training, to fix a date for training his men from the Karnataka State Industrial Security Force. So IGP Training Bhaskar Rao replies to the letter that Bhaskar Rao, IGP Internal Security Division, has sent to himself with the training schedule. In the letter to himself, IGP ISD Bhaskar Rao states that in response to your letter seeking dates for training of your men, we are sending you the following schedule as under. This cannot be changed. Signed, IGP Training Bhaskar Rao. If you think it's bizarre that Mr. Rao has been corresponding and answering his own official mail sent to him by himself from his other self since August 1st, when the government handed him the additional charge of IGP Training, listen to what IGP Training, also IGP ISD, has to say as reported by the national dailies. He said, Bhaskar, get with the program, guys. So Bhaskar said, I have to do my work and there has to be consistency in correspondence. There are times when I have to dictate a stern letter to myself because of the delay in response from myself from the other office. We have to do our work. Some officer may soon be posted as IGP Training. Till then, this will continue. In case you weren't worried enough, you'd be thrilled to know he also holds charge. Bhaskar, who else? He's charge of the state's anti-terrorism cell, as reported by Reuters, with an office, driver, and the works. Yes, we know there's a shortage of police officers, but this is going a bit far. It's just ridiculous. What's so ridiculous about that? And who are you? I am Editor-in-Chief of News Laundry and do not approve of your taking a dismissive stance on this shortage-induced self-correspondence. As the anchor of Clothesline, I do believe I reserve the right to give my opinion on this and other issues, since I don't pretend to be either neutral or objective or fence-sitting. I give an opinion and satirize. I do believe you need to send me a written request first to ensure it is in tune with the editorial policy of News Laundry. Wait, News Laundry has an editorial policy? I didn't know that. That's because you are only the anchor of Clothesline while I am the editor-in-chief. Send me a written request that you'd like to take editorial decisions for the Clothesline show. But as the accountant of News Laundry, I would like to send a request to you two to not spend much stationery in communicating with each other because bills are high and revenue is altogether absent. Oof! Shut up! Always whining about making losses and no money. I would like to remind you that if you do not treat me with respect and dignity, I will not pass any bills or equipment, camera lights, studio hire charges for your show or clear salaries for the website. मैडम, वो बाथरूम का फ्लश नहीं चल रहा और पानी का बिल भी भरना है. बिल पास करो, ठीक कर दूंगा. What the hell? Shut your flush, Miss Accountant. Our viewers love this show. You can't just stop giving me funds to run it. As Manmohan Singh ji said, money doesn't grow on, what is it? Trees. If they love it, love se chala lo show. Don't send me your bills. As editor-in-chief of News Laundry, I instruct you, Accountant Madhu, to first get this policy decision cleared from me that we will hold back payments until we get funds. ये सब ठीक है, लेकिन बाथरूम का फ्लश का क्या करना है? Enough! Be gone! I will deal with you all later. No, I do the dealing with. You will be dealt with. Send me a request for a meeting, I will respond to it, and then we will fix a time when we are both free. ठीक है, ignore me. अगली बार बाथरूम जाना होगा, तब याद करोगे. Dear God, I have such a difficult team. I do need to get some more help. I hope you will help me out when we open a subscription option soon. But don't worry, even always broke students, and I know what it's like, I was a broke student once, and rich freeloaders who never pay for anything will be able to watch all that you've been enjoying so far. But please, if you can, you must pay. We'd like to make the show daily and do some other fun stuff for you. Now, coming back to Indian anchors and the flack they get for noise over news and their studios being loud akhadas, even if there is some truth in that, there is one advantage we have of having a neighbor like Pakistan. Whenever you want to feel better about yourself, just look across the fence. So dear critics of Indian news channels, see this and thank your stars, there's only Arnab.
और सबसे नोटा वो है जो किसी की पार्टी के टिकट पे इलेक्ट हो, जो रिजाइन करके जाके इलेक्शन लड़े, जो इलेक्शन मैंने रिजाइन करके इलेक्शन लड़ा, मैंने रिजाइन
यार ये क्या मामला है? क्या मामला है ये?
मारो साले को लात।
क्या जज्बातियत? आप सेनेटर हैं, आप पार्लियामेंटेरियन हैं, ये किस किस्म का लफ्ज़ लहजा इस्तेमाल कर?
और ऐसी जगह पे मारो कि उठे ही ना।
सर ये टॉक शो चल रहा है। दिस इज नॉट टॉक शो यार, आपसे बात करो यार।
सर हर टॉक शो में ही होता है फारूक साहब, आप ज्यादा जज्बाती हो रहे हैं।
मुझे भी कच्चे चिट्टे पता है इनके लिफाफे कहां से आते हैं।
लानत है
उस पर जो लिफाफे लेता है, लानत है झूठे पर। भाई अगर नहीं कंट्रोल कर सकते आप ऐलान करो।
तो सर मैं क्या करूं, उनके मुंह पर टेप
बिजली चोर, बिजली दे
पढ़ लो बेटा, सारे कार्यकर्ता लिखे हुए हैं।
Also, it gives you an idea of why guests from Pakistan keep coming back on Arnab's show, even after he yells at them like this.
Once more Pakistan tries this, the patience of our great nation will be tested once and for all. You have no idea about the sentiment of the people in this country here today. Enough of this, candy floss cricket diplomacy.
They get yelled at and come back when he has another debate. Well, if this is what they're used to back home, Arnab is a lamb. Do follow our campaign Internet Inqilab. Share your thoughts and experiences on our Facebook page. That's a wrap for the week. If you have any moments from journalism that made you go, oh wow, or oh crap, write into us or tweet to us. We are the change. You are the change, for better or worse. Never do nothing. Stay connected. Stay online.